Hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna develop another type of bees that we have been talking about in this series, this marathon. Then we're gonna face the major type of causes that obviously so makes us be having bees type of decision making, which so sometimes can lead us to outcomes that we not expect because our emotions playing a role in doing decisions in reality it's something that was kind of come from our ancestors that have to done sometimes some type of shortcuts in their decision making. They wouldn't have like the ability to sometimes survive if they kind of have depending of a long reasoning to think, for example, if they face a tiger or any other type of animal that's dangerous, if they will fight, if they will fight, or if they so try to escape, so they have to do some type of short decision makings. And as well we had a tendency to kind of don't want to spend energy, and mental energy that we spend in thinking is energy as well. And we have a tendency to not like to spend energy because we feel that energy is something that we should save for the type of behaviors and occasions that I really have to spend my life is depending on. So that's why we tend to follow shortcuts, but sometimes so shortcuts diminish in terms of time, but as well the quality of the come sometimes. So we kind of do a trade-off between time and quality. And then so we have to talk about these heuristics and try to understand when you're so more susceptible to them, what they are, and how to try to find them. So in this video we're going to talk about scarcity heuristic. Is a mental shortcut or a cognitive base that leads us to value something more when perceive it as scarce or in limited supply. When we see something rare, we tend to believe it's more valuable or desirable, even if it's intrinsically kind of, if you talk universally, it's not something that in reality has that much value. The best type of example that I can give to you can be probably gold. Gold is the best example. Why gold is so much important? Why gold is something that people tend to perceive high? It's because it's scarce. It's because it's difficult to get, and so the tendency that we tend to get towards the things, the materials, is that the ones that tends to be more difficult to get or exist in really low limit type of quantity, we tend to value them as more rare, even if it doesn't have any specific intrinsic value that makes them better than in the example of gold and other material. In reality, a lot of our constructions, a lot of the things that we build, they're not depending of the gold, but instead of we value much more gold than the things that help us to build houses, to build hospitals, to build whole type of stuff. So this is the one of the best examples that I can give to you of the application of scarcity heuristic is the value that the gold has in our economy. Other example, imagine that you're looking for a smartphone that you have wanted for a while. When you visit the website, you notice that there are only 2 units left in stock. Suddenly, you feel a sense of urgency to purchase it, even though you weren't planning to buy it at the moment. This is a scarcity heuristic in action. Scarcity triggers us in feeling that the product is more valuable because it's available for a limited time or in limited quantity. That's a thing that I've talked about in terms of limited quantity that's applied to the goal, but sometimes we have as well limited in terms of time. That sometimes it's something that we see mainly in marketing. If you see for marketing, the people or the companies they tend to promote their products as with limited stocks or with a limit time that the people has to call or to say that they want because their list is kind of limit, and so they will not receive orders of willingness to buy it after just like 1 day or two. And it's a way that as well so make us having the tendency so to act, because in reality if something is scarce we tend to give more valuable. Other thing that I can give example, probably if you see as well for your life, what makes people wake up in the morning having kind of wants to fast, want to do to go things fast. We have some people sometimes have get bothered then the life of the other ones are going up and mine not, because we know that we have a limitation. Our time we'll spend, we're not gonna live for infinite, and so we understand that we have to do things with a certain urgency. And so that's why sometimes not going and not being able to enter in a college, or not being able to enter in a job that I would like, we feel so anxiety, we feel fear, because we know that our time is limited, and so we value it much more than we would, than if you the life will be infinite. Because if you look that if life would be infinite, the reality is that we'll not have like a willingness and motivation to act in the same way that you have today, and probably economy will have to be restricted because it will change a lot. One of the main type of concepts that so makes the economy works, that is this type of phenomenon of scarcity. People will feeling less motivation to walk because they had like the perception that they will have to go fast to get formations, to get certifications, to learn more, to have enjoyed the life as much as possible as fast, and so I have to work, and so people will not do it. And that's something that we not always have to see as bad. Sometimes these heuristics are good, as any other one that I have made a video about, but you have to understand sometimes you want to avoid the bad things that comes with applying too much this scarcity heuristic in probably situation that you should be more reasonable. And so you have to be thinking really critically to not so overvalue the importance of the scarce of something, to so increase too much the value that it has in reality. So when we are more susceptible to suffer with scarcity heuristic, the fear of missing out, the FOMO, the fear of losing something exclusive make us more impulsive and less critical when making decisions. And where is the environment that I most see the FOMO? Social media. We tend to see the FOMO, fear of missing out. That's why a lot of people like to be scrolling in social media, because in reality it is that is scarce. So we have so much information, we have a high probability to miss out if we're not in the social media all time. And that's why people got to get like to always be connected, because they don't want to lose nothing that can be in that social media. And so who don't feel with the fear of missing out, people have a tendency so to be always connected with these type of sources, then so we'll always be more prone to not miss any type of specific new. Even if it's new, it's not something important, it's not something that contributes to our life, we kind of overvalue sometimes the type of importance that some informations that exist, that how much important they are to us, and so overvaluing we can raise a horn is something that we should not, because raise a horn is something that spends our energy. That's something that we have to get the ability to manage it and not spend for everything that doesn't contribute with values to us. Other things that when people are more susceptible is when happens and people are exposed to promotions and discounts, offers like last few items left or limited time offer create a sense of urgency and scarcity, pushing us to act quickly, while the reality is that we tend to buy things not because they're scarce, neither because they're limited time offer. We tend to buy by the real value that he aggregates to our satisfactions of our needs. But people use these type of things to make and create like almost artificial value that it should not have, and our brain unfortunately sometimes it kind of attributes it. And quick decisions, right, as any other type of heuristics, when we're someone that have to kind of be pressed to make quick decisions, we have less logical reasoning, and so a higher probability to not think well, and so as well we have a higher probability to suffer with this heuristic. So how to combat the scarcity heuristic? Take time to reflect. Obviously, when you realize you're being influenced by scarcity, pause and ask yourself, do I really need this, or I'm just reacting to the urgency? That's the best answer that you can do wherever you're going to do action, is if you really need the outcome that will come with action, or if you're just reacting to the urgency. So avoid impulsive decisions, take time to reflect, research alternatives. He says something that's good, because when you're limited to certain type of choices, you also overvalue the options that exist to satisfy that type of need. So research alternatives instead of giving in the scarcity pressure, sometimes neither is the concept is scarcity is something that not, should not contribute to increasing the value because it's artificial. But sometimes neither the thing that I'm trying to say that's scarce, that's as well something that should not be a characteristic that should be determinant to make us make the action. Sometimes neither the component is scarce as well, and so that's why we have to give effort and search for see if exists so another type of alternative. So be skeptical. All limited time offers, often these limited time deals are designed to induce impulsive buying. Ask yourself if the price or product truly justifies the purchase right now. So I expect this video has helped you to make better decisions, to face better the world, and see you in the next one.